Over at Borden Base, we've been playing a lot of SimCity. We decided to have a contest. The objective? See who could build the best self-sustaining city. We had 2 hours to build a city from nothing. Then we let each city manage itself for the night. The winner would be the person whose city was in the best operating conditions the following day.
So you're gonna build, ideally, the perfect city. City's so good that it'll be able to sustain entirely on its own, crush Brooks's and Christian City. Thinking I don't want to waste my time on things like cops, the fire department. The city needs to be as cheap as possible.
My idea for a city was I'm gonna go for a wholesome American town, this like small city feel. I don't want to get too big too fast. We gotta keep unemployment low, crime low.
So with my city, I figured since I only had 2 hours, I should, because zoning is tied to roads, I should spread out as much as I could across the whole map. People who don't go to school start fires every 2 seconds, so I figured I should put a fire station down.
City building was underway, but Zach immediately ran into a problem.
Oh crap, people need to take a dump. There we go. Lots of happy bowel movements.
After sorting out each city's basic needs, we focused on the next important task, building industry.
It's pretty simple town, you know, got some nice little commercial area, some basic, or industrial rather, some basic commercials so people can shop, because we all know Sims are dumb as hell, so you gotta put it like right on the way back to work. And I got it to a point where I was pretty comfortable. Of course, I didn't know that Zach was going to be building this like den of sin and iniquity. So, small town, just people trying to do their jobs, daily life. I have 100 million criminals at all times, and none of them are from my city. I've got an elementary school. People should be happy and fine and educated, but no. Every 5 minutes I get the onages. Robbers are coming and murderers are coming to destroy your city. I had a big income problem early on trying to build police to take care of this. As you can see, before I get ready to let this run and see how it goes, I have 4 jail cells. They were completely full at one point, 70 criminals, and I was still having to let people go back into the streets.
Despite our best efforts, citizens continued to cause more problems.
So I'm having a bit of some transportation issues. This area right in here tends to be a hot spot. I think the next step is to get some buses in this city.
Is this Christian's mayor coming in? Yeah, Big Meat is the name of the city that Christian started. And he's gonna be stuck in traffic for the next like 7 hours. So traffic is like a huge generator of air pollution. So I had this like main drag coming in, everyone was sick. So like in the first time ever my clinic was full. And I had to get a bunch of stuff to solve that. So I added trees. I don't think they actually do anything, but they add that wholesome effect to my city. It's like America, but not really. And then there's that big casino town next door that's just ruining my day all the time.
Our cities were almost ready to go. Time for last changes.
So right here is my casino strip. As you can tell, I've got 3 casinos, everything added on fully to each one of them, hoping they'll generate a ton of cash. I probably ought to stick some bus stops in front of these casinos just to make sure people go to them.
My main issue, aside from the crime, pouring in from Zach and Brooks' city, is that my spot of land in our region apparently has no water table. And what water it does have is on like a 115,000 degree incline in the middle. So I can't obviously build roads there because this SimCity doesn't have any terraforming. So I can't actually flatten that enough to put water towers on it. So right now, I have more water towers than are necessary because I have to drop them in half-filled spots. So I feel like that's probably going to be a limiting or damaging factor in the future, and I don't know how that plays into firefighting, but I'm afraid that all of my uneducated citizens are going to burn everything down if there's no water.
I just want to keep people happy, get some money, and we'll just see where it goes from there. Hopefully, when I get back, my town isn't completely burned down and everyone is dead. Though there's a part of me that expects that to happen, thanks to Zach and his ridiculous casinos. They're huge and they're everywhere. So I don't know what to do. We'll see what happens.
Alright, this is it. This is the ownage. It's basically good to go. Wasn't able to get my airport, but I did get several casinos. I got Sleek Casino built with one tower. Got a gambling HQ. And let's just hope that I won't lose a ton of money over the next couple days.
Well, I just hit the 2-hour mark, and I'm thinking things are pretty good. I have a basic elementary school, fire station, police station, city hall is pretty good, and I filled the entire map in terms of zoning. Hopefully, unless there's my coal power plant explodes or something, hopefully everything should work well. And in the last 10 minutes of time, I figured I should front load as many of my utilities as possible, so my coal power plant I added an extra stack or two onto, and hopefully that'll carry me, but we'll see.
We finished building our cities to the best of our abilities, then decided to let them run for the night to find out whose city would be the best.
So my setup was just small American town. I knew I wasn't going to get above 8,000 population or something like that.
Okay.
So I have small industry, a small section of commercial, and then residential. And I made 2 critical mistakes.
Okay.
So I'm sure I would have been really good except for this. So I neglected to build more than one spot for trash to go. You know how on a dumpster
Yeah,
you
so
can
the
add
dump
extra
hole.
dumps?
Yeah.
I only had 1. So about an hour.
I should have done that too. I put 2.
It's funny that you say that, because you were running your city at the same time I was, and I noticed, you sent me a text message and you're like, I forgot to have extra dumpster spots.
Yeah.
And I had been taking your garbage, and then I went and looked at mine, and mine was full.
Completely full.
And I was like, great. That's how this is going to play out.
Yeah, and I was buying power from you because I had one. I was using wind power, not solar, and I had 1 turbine up and was buying power from you. And then so when
That's a gross oversight.
Right, and so when his city went to complete crap, I was screwed on power, and oh god, it's just a nightmare.
So let me tell you about my city. I was thinking casinos. That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
At first I was going to build I didn't want to build a fire department. I didn't build a hospital or any police stations. And I only built fire departments just because my city started burning down as I was
Because you had uneducated citizens that were burning things.
So I had crime. I had 120 crimes a day and 0 arrests.
Yeah.
They
were all coming to
murderers.
my town.
Murderers were just running around
Yeah, it was
all over the
murderer
place.
from the ownage is on the loose.
And what was funny is my nice casino buildings had spray paint on the side of it. It was just where hoodlums were you know what, we're gonna disrespect everyone's property and all that kind of stuff. So that actually is not what killed my city. Here's the thing, my city had 25,000 people, and in the span of 20 minutes was down to 1.5.
25,000, you mean 20 minutes unattended?
Yeah. 20 minutes unattended, it went to 1.5.
That's awful.
So here's what happened. At first I thought it was because of crime, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It's because I was talking with you, and we were talking about adding some parks and stuff to up the value.
Right.
No one could afford their homes after I upped the value, so all of the low-income workers just bailed.
Oh, Jesus.
Because all of my homes
They probably
were
all went to your town.
I don't know where they went, but they just left. And so what ended up happening is I lost all of my money because I had nothing coming in, no workers.
Going to the casinos or anything. Yeah.
I spent the first hour just trying to build to my little region space, and then I spent the second hour being like, okay, I need to like front load this as much as I can for like overcompensating and things. So I built a Department of Safety and I built a Department of Utilities. So I had a water pump and I had a coal plant with 2 stacks and I had water treatment plant, sewage treatment plant, a garbage dump with 2 dumps. I just went industry, residential.
Right.
Like, so 60% of I filled my whole map by the 2 hours. I didn't
How
need
are you
it.
making money?
Even though I didn't need it, I
Trade.
went
Yeah, but
region.
what were you selling?
Just trade.
Yeah,
I just
It's
had
just
trade.
like your
So
basic
it's-
freight. That's
So if you don't have commercial
Yeah, I know
zones,
that.
then it goes to the trade depot and just gets sold.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, because I didn't want to. I knew we didn't have enough time to really specialize well. And even if I put in coal, like if I be like, oh, coal mine, well, those run out after a certain amount of time, and I didn't know if that would be within that 4 hours or not.
Right.
So I didn't want to build around it. But at the end of my 2 hours, I was at 27,000. I actually took notes. Like I know I was at 27,323 population. I had 14,000 credits where I was making 4,800 an hour. After an hour and 15, so your city had already died at that point.
Yeah.
An hour and 15, I had 69,216 population, 704,000 simoleons, and I was
It
still
went from
making
27 to 69.
I still was making 4,400 an hour.
Jesus.
And at 4 hours in, I was at 59,000 population. I had 582,000 simoleons, and I was at negative 458 an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm gonna say I think I won.
You won without a doubt.
But
you can't even make a case for yourself.
No.
You're clearly the worst.
No.
Okay, so here's my city.
So you're there. You're broke screen.
I'm completely broke. I have no money. I'm losing 2,500.
Oh my gosh, you seriously does look like bombing. It looks
I know.
Like
I know.
It's a nightmare.
looks worse than mine.
My happiness rating is 36% approval.